How you guys doing? It's Robert Tolk. Thank you again for joining me on the second video of our training series. I know you got massive benefit on the first. I'm going to do a quick review real quick and then we're going to jump into our second video, which I'm really excited about. So remember, these are the 6 frameworks that you need to know. This is the framework to healing, the 6 things you need to know. So what you actually have to really realize is, again, belief. These are the core foundations of this whole framework, belief and knowing. Remember, do you believe it is possible to heal? That's one of the main questions I asked last time, because if you don't, you're dead in the water, you can't move forward. The next thing you have to ask yourself is, what do you gain from not believing it's possible? And then you got to flip it. What do you gain from believing that's possible? These are very, very important questions. Knowing is, do you know you're going to heal? And if you don't know you're going to heal, do you know how to build that muscle of knowing? The same way we talked about lifting weights and really gaining that knowing, because that's huge. Because these 2 things, if they're not accomplished, all the rest of this doesn't make sense. The next thing is outcome. See, outcome is very, very important, because remember, your mind dictates the direction of where you're going. So what are your outcomes in healing? What are your specific outcomes in healing? And these things will, again, get you to where you want to go, but more importantly, why do you want them? Because if you don't have the why, you're not going to be juiced. You're not going to get up and actually go do it. You're going to be stopped and just, okay, this is what I want, but I don't know, today I'm tired. Those whys really, really draw you towards what you want. And then remember these 3, which are awesome. Remember, you're a 3-part being. You're a body, a mind, and a spirit. End of story. You got to have those 3. So what are you doing to heal on each of those levels? We have the body, remember, where you're going to do something physical. Are you living that healthy lifestyle? Are you actually doing something on the body level to heal? And the next is the mind. Remember, the mind's more powerful than the body. This is very, very, very important, because you're only subject to what you hold in mind. And that's what very high-level people understand. That's what people actually lock in and do meditations and start really working on their mind. So what are you doing in your mind? What are you holding in your mind? What thoughts are you having? Also remember, what excuses are you telling yourself? Because these are very important in the mind. And lastly, what are you filling the mind up with? Because if you're not growing the mind, you're not changing, you're not moving, you're stuck. All great masters, all great peoples with great minds that we look up to and inspire are constantly filling their minds with amazing materials. They didn't think of it all themselves. They stood on the shoulders of other people. So whose shoulders are you standing on? And then spirit, are you allowing yourself to heal? Are you really connecting to the higher self? Are you able to really dive deep and understand, okay, what is that? How do I experience it? And then how do I let go of all the resistance that's stopping me from healing? That's just so, so important here. And then asking the questions of, what world do you live in? And how do you connect to your source? I mean, these are such great things. If the world you live in stops you from connecting to your source, then you're going to have a problem. If you live in an angry world, or a world of guilt and shame or fear, now these are things that might have effect, because what you hold in mind affects your body. That's the pattern, mind, body, spirit. They each get progressively more energy. So what are you doing? So this is just a quick overview of what we're talking about, but today I really want to dive in the second video onto the first one, which is belief. Belief is so, so key. So we're actually going to start diving into that right now. All right. Got a little trouble with the chart, but we're good. We're good. So the first thing I really want to talk about is mind viruses. Mind viruses was he's gotten really, really popular over the time. A guy named Richard Brody, he actually helped create Microsoft Word, not Microsoft the whole thing, but he's actually the 77th employee and really helped them create Microsoft Word. He wrote a book called The Virus of the Mind, and it really was absolutely amazing. And what he said is, there's these things called memes, and I know you guys are thinking of the memes on Facebook with pictures and they write a little something next to them and they get spread around. That actually came from this. So what memes are ideas that spread through people's minds and they replicate. It actually comes from what's called the science of memetics. And what it is this idea that they're mind viruses. And what ends up happening is, what is a virus? A virus is something that is in your body that replicates. So it actually reproduces, and obviously our bodies get sick and try to fight it, but then it spreads. It actually infiltrates someone else's mind and then replicates and then spreads. So it's one of those things that we all get through other people and it spreads. The same with ideas. The idea of freedom came through people's minds and then spread, and then it became true. So we have all these things that really go through our minds that we call memes, and we have to really dive into which ones are beneficial and which ones aren't. Because this whole idea of the science of memetics is the ideas spreading from all of our minds. That there's something very powerful there, because remember, you have the body, but you also have the mind, and the mind is just so incredibly powerful, and I really want to get that through to you guys of how to engage on that. And this is a really core idea that I know that's helped me in my life when I realized, oh, wait a second, everything I'm told isn't true, and not only is it not true, but how deep does it go? How many of these beliefs do I hold that really just make no sense? From this is, incurable, all these crazy stuff. So let's start diving into what some of these mind viruses are and how we can actually change them and how we can actually use them for positive reasons. So the first one I really want to go into is, we all know the mind virus of people don't change. We've heard it. I know a lot of you think it's true. I know this one guy or this person or a lot of people in my life, they're the same as they were 10 years ago. No. Stop kidding yourself. Stop kidding other people, and definitely don't lie to yourself. Wake up and realize, you know what? Everyone's changing constantly. You're not the same person you were a week ago, a month ago, a year ago. You might have very strong characteristics that are the same. You might, I know I do. I know I have ones that have followed me through my life, but if any of you know me or want to talk to any of my friends, I have radically shifted multiple times in my life. I've radically shifted from being young, very intense and energetic and out of control, to getting a little bit older and calming down, but still intense, to actually being a very nice person and loving person, to be a very mean and cruel person for parts of my life, and then back to loving and nice. So I've watched myself change multiple times. Have you changed multiple times? If I were to guess, I'd probably say yes. And I would say that you know of people close to you that have changed too. So the whole idea that people don't change is a very powerful mind virus that I've had actually my friends and my family say to me. Oh, you're the same person, you're going to do this and this and this. And I look at them and I go, I'm not that same person. I used to be that person, but this is who I am today. And being able to have that ability to reach out and say that to somebody changes them. It makes them actually come alive and say, you know what, I will give you the chance to change. Because one other thing that I definitely do with people that don't change is when I have people in my life that I think are one way and I watch them start shifting, I remember I have to give them room to shift. I have to allow my ideas of who they are to shift too. Otherwise, I'll keep them the same and they'll tend to interact that way. And we all know that when we get around friends and we watch ourselves going back into old patterns, whether you go back to high school friends or college friends or, whatever type of friends that were in the past, have you ever noticed yourself slip into that unconscious pattern? Ever notice yourself just become that person where you're like, oh, that's interesting, that was the old me. And you guys, a lot of this happens with relationships. If you go back to an old person that you were dating and you guys get together and you see those old things end up happening. So remember, people do change. Actually, change is the only thing that is constant in this universe. So this is something that isn't true and really gets people stuck and gets you stuck too. So ask, what is the benefit here? And is it true? So now the second one I want to go into is bad things come in threes. This is one that I've heard of, but only recently did I hear of this meme that I really stopped instantly. And I know a lot of you have heard it. If not, it basically means that if something happens and another thing happens, well, guess what? One more is going to happen. So bad things come in threes. And what ended up happening to me is one of my best friends ended up actually passing away, and I took it really hard, and it was the first time anyone in my life close to me passed away. I had a grandfather pass away when I was 6 or 7. I barely saw him 3 times, barely knew who he was. He was in Florida, so it didn't affect me that much. But when my best friend passed away, it really showed me my mortality, showed me that things do change and that you aren't guaranteed tomorrow. So it was a big deal in my life. And pretty much a week later, or a week to 2 weeks later, I was hanging out with another girl and her father passed away, and I had to fly her down and bring her to her family, and it was a big horrific event, and it was something that I was glad I was there for her, because I just went through the similar thing, obviously not as the level of my parent, just a best friend, which to me was devastating. But the thing that really pissed me off, to tell you the truth, is when I was talking with some people that I knew, and multiple times they said, watch out, bad things come in threes. And I did not like that. I said, you know what, knowing what I know about mind viruses and memes, no. Cancel that thought. I'm not going to have someone else close to me or someone that I know die quickly because bad things come in threes, and I know how powerful my mind is, and if I believe that, I'm going to watch these events transpire. So it's actually having the power to say, you know what, no. That's a meme. It has no truth in reality, so why am I going to believe it? Why am I going to go into that? Why am I going to allow that to affect me? And so I canceled it, and it didn't happen in threes. So to really understand is when they're not positive, let them go. Let them just get rid of them. Which brings us to our third one, which is it runs in my family. So this is now talking more about disease and alcoholism and depression and all this. It's just an excuse. It's a meme. Yes, is there some reality to it? I'm sure there's some DNA, genetics. They can find something that does make it have a physical reality in the body, but the mind's more powerful. So the belief that, oh, my family is all alcoholics, I'm going to become an alcoholic, is not a correct meme. Well, the meme that you might want is, well, my families are alcoholics, I'm not going to be one. I choose to be sober. Or, you know, diabetes runs in my family. You have a much higher chance if you believe in that mind virus for it to actually happen. So how do we cancel it? How do we let that go? Because, you know, one in my family, in my life, is heart disease runs in my family. High cholesterol runs in my family. And a lot of my family members have it, but what benefit do I get? Is that really true? Because I don't really care if they all have it. I only care if I have it. If I don't have it, if I'm the 1% that doesn't get it, I'm 100%. You get what I'm saying? I want you to be that 100%. So what do? Is I cancel those beliefs. I say that's a meme and a mind virus that, you know what, I'm looking at the truth that a lot of them do have cholesterol, so I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to live a healthy lifestyle, and I'm going to think the correct thoughts, and I'm going to allow it to happen. So I cancel that. And I realize, you know what, it doesn't have to run in my family. And if it does, that's fine for them. I choose not to be part of that statistic. Another one that we get into is everyone gets colds. This is something else that just baffles me because of how, I mean, I'm sure you're sitting there right now saying, of course everyone gets colds. You can't say, I'm never going to get sick again. I'm never going to get a flu again. Nothing is ever going to happen to me again. I am saying that. I'm saying you don't need to get colds. You don't need to get flus. What happens if flus and colds was a mind virus that you believe that you have to get, or that it happens, or I'm hopeless, or I can't do anything about it? I say no, because I used to get colds and flus all the time, and then one day I made a decision that it was a meme, and I decided to change it. And I changed it on a physical level by taking care of my body. I changed it on a mental level by canceling those beliefs and those ideas, and I allowed myself to make myself healthy. So yes, do I get some symptoms every once in a while? I do, but I know it's a mind virus, and I know I can change it like that. I know that I can shift my mind, I know that I can shift my body, and I know I can connect to something greater that's going to allow me to stay healthy. You can too. But first you have to realize it's a mind virus and that you can change it. So another one that we get into is it's incurable and progressive. My mother has MS, if you guys don't know that, and this is what she bought into. And she was going downhill over time. And I ended up moving back home to kind of wanted to help her and really start hanging out with her and flooding her mind with positive things and start changing that, because I was dealing with my own stuff in my own life, and I knew that I could help her. I knew I could give her the wisdom, give her the actions, give her everything that she needs to heal herself and to access her inner healing. So what I ended up doing is first the thing I did with her is change this. Say MS is just a title, but to tell me that something's incurable and progressive and that this is what's going to happen, bullshit. That's what I say. I look at people straight in the eyes and I say, what benefit is that getting you? Do you know 100% true, beyond all doubt, beyond all reality, that that's what's going to happen? Can't say yes to that. Miracles happen. We live in a world of quantum physics. We live in a world where anything's possible. So you know what? It's not incurable and it's not progressive. And we started changing that. She's off all medication. She had a baclofen pump in her. That's out. And she's starting to walk again, and she's starting to move. I mean, it's not progressive and degenerative. It's actually getting better. It's actually progressing towards a positive benefit. So that's something that I really want you to realize is a mind virus. And if you're someone out there listening that has that, there is hope. and you can do something about it. But you got to start with understanding it's a meme. Next one is success is contagious. So now that we've talked about a lot of negative stuff, and notice how our minds love to talk to negative. Actually, when I sat down with to write these with my friend Joanna, we had trouble coming up with positive ones. And maybe because we focused on the negative ones first, or maybe because there's so many negative ones out there. I mean, these are the ones we just picked. We had lists of them. You know, from superstitions to old wives' tale to, you know, and we've all heard that one where you drink a soda and you pop rocks, you'll die. I mean, those things spread around our whole country, yet they're not true. Break a mirror, 7 years, bad luck, those aren't true. Friday the 13th, that's unlucky, that's not true either. So why are these things there? And, you know, they all have histories and they all come from a certain thing and they all have ways to fix it, but what benefits getting you? So now we're going to do good ones because there are good memes. So as there are mind viruses that hurt us, there's also mind viruses that help us. There's also mind viruses that really progress us. And then this is the first one I want to talk about. Success is contagious. You've all heard of that. If you haven't, you know, just saying when you're around successful people and you start becoming success, it's almost like it multiplies and it just keeps growing. And that's one I like. That's one I use. I hang around successful people. I engage with people that have success. And when I have success in my life, I know it's contagious and it's going to keep growing. So now you start filling your mind and building those mind viruses that you do want to use. Those memes that are going to help you. Those ones that are going to, you know, progress your life forward, that are going to push you forward. So success is contagious one. Another one is, my mom always says this, and I always loved it, and I've always used it, is love multiplies, it doesn't divide. You know, when people get jealous and they start changing around and saying, you know, well, I don't want this person that I love to also love this person or to go hang out with these, and you know how jealousy is. It's a pretty evil beast or something that's not the best thing for you, and you know it's not that good because it doesn't feel good. Remember, if it doesn't feel good, it's not good for you. So I love this one. I always say this to people when, you know, whenever jealousy pops up in my life, whenever I have someone that I love starts loving someone else, I also say love multiplies, it doesn't divide. So the more people that I can love and the more people that they can love, the more love we have, versus the other, which is the more love they give out, the less they have for me. And I know a lot of you guys have those ideas. I used to have them. So how can you shift that? Is that true? And which one feels better? Because I like this one. Another one that we have is with age comes wisdom. This is a good one because we all know that not everyone that gets older gets smarter. So there's people that go up in intelligence by growing their mind and moving, and then if they stop, they decline. So this is a really good one because with age does come wisdom if you keep growing. And that's the way I think, is when I'm 60, 70, or 80, I will be even wiser. I'll know even more because I don't know everything right now. And remember, if you think you know everything, you know nothing. But you also have to know something. So with age, I'm going to really gain a deeper deeper idea of myself, deeper connection with the universe. And I'll know even more than I know today because I'm going to have more hours, more time, more experiencing. So this is one I really like. And another one that's really good is hard work pays off. And what this means is if you focus on something and you work towards it, it pays off. You're going to get something. So, you know, if your health isn't that good, I mean, how long have you focused and how much have you done to make it better? Because focusing on it being bad doesn't do anything for you. Well, I have been focusing on so much how much pain it is and how much it hurts and how much, you know, how scared I am of it. Yeah, well, that stops you. So remember that what are you doing to make it better, because hard work does pay off. When you actually focus on something, and hard doesn't mean that it has to be horrible and you gotta pull up your boots and just go through it and through the bullets and everything. No. Hard work means just doing it, because it can also be fun work. And that's just a little meme I'm gonna give to you right now, because remember, we're always affecting each other, and I'm affecting you with good viruses. I'm affecting you with good memes, because those are what I call the vaccines for viruses, because all I know is there's so much negativity and there's so much things that are keeping you down. I want to start lifting you up, and especially when it comes to disease, especially when it comes to things that the Western world doesn't know how to cure with a pill. And that's where they stop. And I want to challenge you and I want to push you to say, you know what? There is something else there. Let's keep growing, let's keep moving, and let's find out a way to heal you, because the other possibility isn't worth it. The other possibility is not to heal. So understanding these mind viruses and these memes, I really want to dive into more of what's going on with you right now, which is your limiting beliefs. So I'm going to go through some of mine. I want you to actually take out a piece of paper and a pencil right now. Yes, there is a pause button. I love technology. So really stop the tape, stop the video, go out, get a pen, get a piece of paper, and I want you to actually write down your limiting beliefs, your old ones. What's going on with you? What's stopping you? What memes have you developed and have you taken from other people? Because remember, when you take someone else's memes and someone else's mind viruses, you're taking their lifestyle too. You're taking the way they are. And look at your friends and look at your families, and if that's not what you want to be, certain things in there like high cholesterol, like heart disease, cancel them and pick new ones. But there's also some good ones from your friends and family, so keep the good ones, but let's get rid of the bad ones. Remember, let's not knock down the whole house. Let's just take out the bricks that aren't working, and let's put in the bricks that are. So take it out right now and really write old limiting beliefs. What is going on right now? And then we're going to show you how to change them to new ones. So stop it, and we'll get going again. So hit pause. And thank you. If you've come back, if you haven't hit pause, all right, I can't really reach out there and shake you. I wish I could, but I can't. So we have limiting beliefs. I'm going to go over some of mine, and some ones that I found to be the most common ones out there. And the first one is, it's impossible, it's incurable. I mean, this is something that stops you right away. This is something I've run into in my life, whether it was with my eyes, just figuring out how to do that. Well, people's eyes don't heal, or I just all these different things, is really getting into this idea of, I don't care if it's impossible, it's incurable, because this meme right here, is it true? Let's start off with that. Is it really true? Beyond all shadow of a doubt, 100%, no way that it can change, true. I can't say that because everything is possible. The other thing you have to realize is, what benefits is this one getting me? Again, nothing. So how do we actually change that? If we go from the old one, let's go to the new one. I can heal anything. I live in a quantum world. I live in the world of the divine, where connecting to the higher self, it can heal anything. It created universes, it created solar systems, it created life, it created the world. It can heal something simple, which might be hard for me, but it's simple to the universe. As A Course in Miracles says, there is no grade and difference between miracles. There's no, well, that one's a harder miracle and this one's a less hard. It's all the same. That too in this world. So it's impossible and it's curable. It becomes anything can heal. And I can heal anything. So really understand that. Whatever you have, there is a possibility, no matter how small it is in your mind, that you can heal. What I'm asking you to do is take that little, even if it's 1%, and focus on it and let it grow. And let it grow, and let it grow. Because if it's 1% possibility you're going to heal, you probably have a 1% chance of healing. But if I can get it up to 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 51%, I think I got enough right there. If I can have you believe more it's going to happen than it's not, boom, it flips. So when you have that limiting belief, realize, cross out what's going on, and then write the new one. Anything can heal. And there are people out there that have healed from various things that you would consider incurable and just impossible. So start researching, start understanding who those people are, start reaching out to them, talk to them, start just breaking out of your own world. The next one that I wrote down was, I'm too scared. And yes, if any of you know, this is not my writing. I have Joanna write this because, as you know, my writing is not the best. So when I say I wrote down, we wrote down. So I'm too scared. This is one that really stopped me. Once I developed illness in my own body, the fear really comes in. Is it going to get better? Will it get worse? Will this kill me? And this can be paralyzing. I mean, you can be stuck in the level of being scared and fear for a long, long time. I know I was for a long time. Are you? And if you are, how do we change that? Is it 100% true? Is there no way, no possibility that you don't have to be scared? That you could be brave? And what do you gain from getting scared? How does it benefit your life? Because the next one is, I am brave enough to take the first step. That's all I'm asking you guys to do, is to take the first step. To actually not go all the way, just the first one. Because if you don't take the first step in a 1,000-mile journey, it doesn't happen. As the Tao Te Ching says, every 1,000-mile journey begins with one step. So that's what I'm asking you is, if you are too scared, can you be brave enough just for one step? Just to go out on a limb and start moving your life forward and your healing forward. I know today I was at Bikram and I watched somebody, and if you guys don't know what Bikram is, it's hot yoga, an hour and a half, and I watched somebody limping in to the Bikram room, had trouble walking. And I felt it and I knew it. She was taking the first step because when we talked in the Bikram class, the teacher said, who's his first time here? And she raised her hand. Now most people that are physically fit won't do Bikram for an hour and a half in 104 degrees. But she did. And I went up to her afterwards and, said, it's awesome that you're here and thank you so much for coming. It really inspired me watching this, and also the fact that you're taking the first step. And she gave me a big smile and said, God bless you. Because I saw it. I knew it. And that's just something that's just so true, because got to be brave enough to take the first step. And she did. And she will probably heal. I know she will. That's up to her. So realize that. The next thing is, it's never happened before. Now this is a big one with my eyes, with my body, is, well, it's never happened before. Now I have that knowing. Now I'm able to move faster through this phase. But before, it really stopped me, because when I go, well, you've never done it before. Yeah, you're asking me to do something I've never done before. That's really good. Well, I've never done before. So well, the question I have to ask you is a couple things. Is that true? 100% true? Just because you've never done it before, or it's never happened before, it won't happen. What I would say to you is, everything that you've done, you've never done before. When you came here as a baby, you came here as a fresh slate. You didn't do anything. You never talked. You never walked. If a baby just said, you know what, it's never happened before, I'm not going to try to walk, or it's never happened before, so I'm not going to speak, it would never do it. Because you know what, this never happened before is just you haven't figured it out yet. So that gives us to the next one, which is, there's a first time for everything. There is a first time for everything. For healing, for moving your life forward, for growing. So if you get stopped because you just never done it before, make a list of all the things that you've done. Make a list of all the things that you were scared of. Make a list of all these things and realize, you know what? I have changed. I have accomplished something. Maybe I learned a new language. Maybe I got a new job. Maybe I've changed my body. I used to be fat and out of shape, and now I'm fit. You can change anything, because you know what? You just got to learn something new and do it. The next one is, I don't deserve it. This one really stops you. This one is that little voice in your head. This comes from guilt and shame, some of the lowest forms of human emotion. And it was for me too. I remember when I got sick and I found the bump on my testicle, I realized, after I was scared and after, I freaked out, as I realized, when I did realize it's all possible and I could do it and I could move myself forward, which I'm getting you to, well, I don't deserve it. I'm not living the life I should. I'm not happy with who I am as a person, the way I treat other people. Who am I to deserve this? Who aren't you to deserve this? Who aren't you to heal? What benefit? Who's getting the benefit from you not deserving to heal? Do you believe that there's this divine intelligence, or the people around you that say you don't deserve to heal? You want to know why? Because she's mean and she's not loving enough and there's problems. These are all things that I don't deserve it. Where does that come from? It comes from a misaligned thought to what is true, that everyone deserves it, that you are a divine being, that you deserve to heal. Not only deserve it, you should heal. Not only should you heal, you are healed. And to really take that and cancel away those negative beliefs, because I am worthy of healing. That's the positive one of that. That's shattering this one, is you are worthy. You're a human being, and you know what? If you're not healed and you're still sick, what can you give to the world? What benefit can you provide? You can't, because you're sick. So there's so much that you can't help out in the world. So if you can't convince yourself that you deserve it, other people deserve you to be healed. You're gonna be a better mother, a better father, a better son, any label or title that you are, you'll be better because you have more energy to give, more things to do. You won't be focused on it. Another one that really gets us is, I don't know how. So after you realize it's possible and you're not scared anymore and you realize it can happen and you know you deserve it, is, I don't know how. This one stopped me forever. I don't know how. Shucks. Well, it's okay. Because if you knew how, you probably already have done it. And again, it goes back to the thing I've never done before is I can learn anything I put my mind to. This is something that I tell myself all the time. This is the positive. I can learn anything I put my mind to. Healing, a new language, anything, a new job, whatever you want to do, you can learn it because there's so much. We live in the first time in history where our problem isn't enough information, our problem is too much information. We're looking for wisdom. We're looking for it to be filtered. We're looking for, okay, there's just way too much about healing out the world. How do we get it into something that I can understand, play with, and then I can get results from? And this is what we're saying is this I don't know how, cut it out. First off, it's not true. Second off, you don't gain anything from thinking of it that way. You could say, I don't know how, so I'm going to learn how to do it because I know if anything I put my mind to, I can do. Now we're getting somewhere. Now we're going somewhere. That's what you need to be thinking. That's what you need to be growing on. Go to Google. I love Google. It's my best friend ever. I type anything I want and answers pop up and I get to figure it out and grow. I mean, anything. I mean, before you'd have to go to the library, get an encyclopedia, or go talk to people. We're so connected now. There's so much information. Look for wisdom out there. And that's the one thing you should be saying is, I don't know how, but there's too much out there. Cool. Start finding people that have already gotten results and copy them. As Anthony Robbins said, which got from Jim Rome, success leaves clues. Realize that. Success leaves clues. So go find someone who's already done it. The next one we got is it will take too long. Now this is just your mind starting to come up with a ton of excuses because I love this one because, you know, get through all this stuff and then, oh, it's going to take too long to heal. It's going to take too long to heal. It's going to take too long to heal. Come on. What is your other choice? To live with it for the rest of your life? I mean, even if it took a year or 2 years or 3 years, would it be that bad? Well, I want healing now. I want it to be gone now. I know you want that now. But it will take too long. It's going to stop you, and it stopped me for a while. Oh, it's going to be too hard. It's going to take too long. Come on. Cut it out. It's not going to take too long. I've been there. That one stopped me for a while too. The opposite of it will happen quickly because are you 100% sure it's going to take too long? Do you 100% sure that you couldn't wake up tomorrow and it be healed? A miracle couldn't happen? 100% sure. No, you can't be. So what do you gain from saying it'd take too long? Nothing. Maybe some stress, some anxiety. What do you gain from it will happen quickly? Even if it takes 1, 2, or 3 years, that could be quick. I mean, if you have another 40 or 50 years of your life, that's fine. Plus the journey you're going to go through, what you're going to learn, what you're going to grow, and you're going to become a new person. That's the amazing part. I was reading a quote earlier today from Jim Rome saying, wealth isn't the goal, it's the person you become while becoming wealthy. I say that too of healing. Healing is the goal, but it's the person you become while you get there. Because you're going to get a new sense of your body, a new sense of your mind, and a new sense of spirit. Your 3-part beings are going to align. Your mind and body are going to serve your soul. You know how good that feels? That feels amazing. I can't wait for that because you can become a greater person because you've gotten sick, not lesser. So really realize that and realize it will take too long. It can be just as easy as says it will happen quickly. The last one is, I don't have the energy. You know, we all suffer from this. I've told myself I'm tired. When I was sick, I was sleeping 12 hours a day and, just didn't have the energy. I'm tired. I'd read, I'd meditate, but I'm tired. I mean, how's this making you feel even just watching my body do that? Now look the way I stand. Now look the way I present myself. You don't have to be tired. I don't have enough energy is just a mind virus and it's BS. And one that really took me to the next level when I was at a Brandon Bouchard event, and he's amazing, and he says, I am a power plant. I create energy. So what does a power plant do? It creates energy. It doesn't consume more than it creates. It creates more energy. So that's what it does. So be a power plant. Your body is a power plant. And I recognize that because there's times in my life when I'm really tired and then someone will call me and boom, I'll spark up. Or we're going to go do something and I just become alive. Well, I was tired and then I became alive instantly. We know this with children. I mean, you tell them you're going to give them candy or take them to an amusement park, no matter how tired they are. They jump up, they're ready to go. Us too, we've just trained ourselves to say, it's okay, I need that energy drink and that caffeine and, just I'm getting old. That's another meme. I'm getting old. Oh well. No, BS. I know people that are in their 60s or 70s that have more energy than almost any of us. My grandma's one of those people. I mean, I spend 2 days with her, and I'm just like, I need to raise my level to new energy. She tires me out. She's up at 5 in the morning, and she goes to bed at like 8 or 9 at night, and she's just constantly going, moving, talking, moving, and it's just amazing. She's like 85 now. So this excuse is just something that you've created in your mind that we all share and collectively, and I've been there. So every time that I say I'm energy, I shout, I'm a power plant. I am a power plant. I generate energy, and I get alive, and I move, because remember, emotion is energy in motion. So I'm a power plant. I'm alive. I'm a power plant. I'm alive. That's not going to do anything. You got to move your body. I'll get up. I'll do some jumping jacks. I'll, do some push-ups. I'll run around. I mean, as you've talked to Joanna, she knows, she works with me. Whenever we get in lulls, I become crazy and just go, and start running around. And she at first looked at me like, what is this kid doing? But now she gets it. Now she realizes I'm changing my state by putting energy in motion. I'm putting emotion into it. So become a power plant. And now that you've seen examples in your own life, what are your limiting beliefs? What's your old? What's your new? How can we combine them? How can we create the world you would like, the world you choose? Not create the world that you've been given. Especially in health, especially in healing, especially in energy, especially in the way you show up in this world. That is what I'm asking. That is what I'm challenging you to look in your mind and start writing down throughout the day. Well, I don't know what they are. Move through your day. Now that I've opened up your mind, what you're going to end up doing, which I did after reading a lot of these books, is I started hearing myself talk, well, it's 8 o'clock, so I'm starting to get tired. Or I wake up in the morning, and this is when I've still been fighting with a little bit. I'll wake up and say, I only got 6 or 7 hours of sleep. I need 1 more hour. I'm tired. It's BS. Shock yourself out of the pattern. Realize what you're not gaining, and let's get moving. Let's get going. Well, thank you so much for reaching the end of the video with me, and really please give me comments below. Send me questions in your emails, and send me stories, and really start interacting with me and other people. I would really, really love to just reach out and help. I got a 3rd video coming, and I'm really excited to share it with you. I know it's going to give a lot of benefits, so thank you so much, and remember, create your own memes, create your own mind viruses, start building your beliefs today, and go out and be the best you can be, and just have a wonderful day. Take care.